Okay, the last thing we're gonna do outside is adding combat teams. That includes peasants, and I'm gonna show you how you can create an overpowered unit for the enemy. So we'll go to, we'll just write combat, and then you get all the combat teams possible. Well, let's start with some peasants. When placing it, like I told you, it's like better to have an overview. So we place the combat team. I don't know how to make groups stronger, only like individual units. So that's why I never make templates for groups, with some extreme exceptions, but that's for other reasons. So let's say I can choose now from the group's name number between 0 and 35. Let's say I want like 5. Doesn't mean that there are 5 peasants if I choose 5. It just means the strength of the combat team. 4. Save all, save all. Well, that's like really quickly done. For instance, like the last army that they will have to defeat, let's choose a mixed army, so just combat team. 35, because it's the last thing that we'll have to conquer probably. And we also add a melee team. All these teams are good heroes, so you don't have to worry that if I place a range that there is like orcs or like demons between them, and this is all heroes. Except for, of course, Scorplings and Spylings, but you get what I mean. So let's say combat team there, with a melee in front. When they get here, they will get a small encounter with some dwarves. So let's make that not extremely high. Let's make that 13. Don't forget to save. This is a village. For villages, I prefer to keep it a bit around 20. This is a nice spot for an individual unit, like a standalone unit. Let's make it a fence force here, some humans. Give them, because it's just a camp, we'll give them 6 or something. This is all to your personal taste, of course. I'll do that 8. Western dwarves, why not? 9. Western melee. 10. Some dwarves. 8. Humans. 5. Yeah, and that's the defenses. Let's now go for an individual. Let's imagine that we want one knight that is really strong and will one hit the enemy, like let's see. I know that he's called fighter, so I just type in fighter, but if that's not the case, I suggest that you don't know how he's called, just type in hero, and then you will go to units, and then you have all the heroes. The reason why I type hero is because then you're sure that it is really your enemy unit, because if I would just type in fighter, you also get unit fighter, and unit fighter means that it is actually this ghost. Unit is often for the player, and this is a demon. So let's say we want to have a gold fighter that's really strong. So I'm gonna delete this. I want to create a derived template. Right mouse button, open template expector, and we're gonna make a derived one. in front of it, name map, because that's the name of my map. Your name is here. Okay, save all, save all. We created the template, so we have to restart. Okay, let's go back to that position. We type in the assets our map name, and we find the fighter. So now there he is. Let's give him a bit more of a standalone spot. Okay, template. Here we know that it's a derived template because our map name is in front of it. Let's say that don't, like I suggest, only changing some things in the combat. Things that you could like safely change are like the attack damage amount and attack cooldown, that's how fast he swings. And what you also can safely adjust is the armor, the health. Don't make these thousands, otherwise they will never lose health. But like here, this is what they normally have as health. Don't change the rest, unless if you really understand it and you want to test it. But like sometimes if you change something that's not supposed to be changed, you cannot load your map anymore because you screwed it up. If you want it to be able to move faster, we can just adjust the mover. That's also safe to adjust if it is not too insane numbers that you go ahead. Like don't put 1000 here, but like don't go higher than I think 15 or something. That's already really high. So be mindful of what you change. So I will say, for instance, that he hits 10,000 damage. He one hits everyone. He attacks normally, and he has a lot of health. So let's say a lot of health is in this case, I would say, is 50,000. But he does move a bit slower, so that the enemy can just walk away. So his battle speed, we could say, is 4 instead of 4.5. Save all, save all. So now we created our own like very strong fighter for the enemy. Maybe you would like to give the player starting units. That's also a possibility. So we go to the dungeon and we write units this time. And there you see, for instance, like we could give him some Nagas, normal Nagas, champions, and you could give the player like I don't think it's a good thing to give minions, just give the but maybe you don't want to force the player to have like to occupy slots for his soldiers. Then you could maybe just give him demons. Normally you get that in-game out of torturing heroes. And you also could give them like ghost soldiers, like this one. Everything is possible. Western sniper, it's all possible. If I just do save all and I do a restart, we press spray, and you can see it doesn't occupy his slots. And you can also even level them. For the demons it's leveling all the demons, and for the ghosts it's leveling the zombies, the undead.